Right, I'm just continuing with the Crown's application and submission. Just going back up here, see. This is a Memorandum of Council for New Zealand Police. So, at the moment we're looking at D. Okay, no, we're looking at C. Right, so Council has put in here Ms. Crichton's grievance against multiple health professionals informing her she's not pregnant. Ms. Crichton alleges she is roughly 18 months pregnant at the time, and filing the claim saying if the courts do not intervene, she and her unborn baby will die. Okay, so what's happened here is the New Zealand Police has brought in the Ministry of Health case, which in this instance, it's actually not relevant to the case that I have against the police. The only thing that would be relevant is the fact that the police didn't investigate my pregnancy complaint when I asked them to at the time, right? But the Crown has brought in here on E the Ministry of Health case under judiciary review. So I don't know what was the reason for this, because the outcome is for that I wasn't happy. As you know, that the case went on for over 7 years. I wasn't happy with the outcome at all, and I had actually notified the courts that I was going to actually put criminal, refer the case to, press criminal charges because it's a criminal case. But the New Zealand Police has brought that into the memo, obviously to get the judge to use, to actually make the same decision based on the Ministry of Health. However, it's actually not really relevant because this case is specifically focusing on the police, on the corporate body agency, New Zealand Police. It's got nothing to do, at this stage, it's got nothing to do with the other cases, although they do all coexist because they've all participated, right? They've all failed to do what they're supposed to do according to the law. So that somewhere along the line they've participated in organised criminal group under the Crimes Act 1961. Or they failed to do their duty, like impeding rescue, or investigate. Everyone knows why the police is there in the first place. Their duty is to the community when people make a complaint. But the only relevant in this paragraph is the pregnancy complaint, that I did make an official complaint to the police to investigate, but the police didn't. They didn't. They all wanted to focus on that because they've used the Mental Health Act on me. They all were riding along and joining together, convincing each other that I'm mentally retarded because they've used the Mental Health Act on me. However, there's no evidence to base their allegations because they had no evidence, and I proved that to the court. But they still made unlawful strikes, unlawful judgments. That's what it's called. They're called unlawful strikes. It's called when a judgment is fraud. It's actually comes under perjury. Anything that Crown or any lawyers that submit to court, anything, documentation, if it's not accurate, if it's not 100% accurate, it can backfire and be considered as fraud. Yeah, so it's how very complex it is with the courts and the laws to get it completely accurate. So that's that paragraph. This one here, let's go 3.4. The police is stating on this paragraph, none of the relief sought in the claim relates to New Zealand police. Paragraph 52. Ms. Crichton alleges historical discrimination breaches by government agencies and other organisations and companies. She says caused her to be the subject of ongoing criminal alliances, a conspiracy to take her down financially. I can actually prove that. I haven't been able to advance financially because they're stealing off me. They've used me for money laundering, relationship scam, or a pecuniary advantage. That's what it comes under. So financially, her involvement in a suicidal pact, her being used in a relationship scam. So they're describing what I'm accusing them of. But it is a corporate crime thing, meaning everybody's involved. So when it comes to something like, when it's a corporate crime, like this case, it does fall on the corporate body. But standing back, the evidence, it does look like they all retaliated. Meaning, instead of fixing the problem, they all participated to cover up. So I ended up being buried in a very dangerous situation. However, so the police is writing here all the things that I'm alleging that they participated in. Involvement in money laundering, which I can prove. She has had her intellectual property stolen, which I can prove. She's been cloned and switched, which I can prove. That's where the relationship scam comes in. She has had her property, reputation and character damaged. Obviously, that is true, because that was the purpose of the misuse of the act. Everything was intentional. The case is a clear case of demolition of a human being. Basically, I mean, my file is a mess. I'm also alleged that a conspiracy to commit murder. Yes, because I'm saying that I was poisoned at work. I still stand by those allegations. I can still prove it, even if they're deleted evidence. I can still prove it. So of course, the charges that I'm pressing Ministry of Health for, and others, is conspiracy to commit murder. This all relating back to 2010. And they all participated one way or another. So they've continued here that she'd been deliberately maimed. Yeah, I put on there that I basically describe what the evidence shows. So I had the car accident and I ended up having a spiral neck injury. On my YouTube channel, there's clips there I've talked about two car accidents that I had a reason to believe were actually a hit. Okay, so if you don't know what a hit is means a hit is when somebody is paid. This happens quite common. So that's what you call a hit. A hit can also be, if they know that you're going to have an operation, they can actually get their people in there, do the damage, and then leave the crime scene. That's why this system and what's happening. This is what the system is allowing people, the secret societies to do. That's why privacy is so important, and this is what they're doing. It's really serious. So that's what you call a hit. That's why it's really important to know the signs when if you're targeted, because it's really hard to explain. You just have to trust me what I'm saying. So a hit can be like a car accident. They can easily just create an accident to look like an accident when it's not actually an accident, and they're actually job hopping. If you don't know what job hopping, what they're actually doing is they leave their job and they'll go within your space to keep themselves updated, meaning they're in your space handling your profile, or they've got somebody in your personal profile you'd ring, and they're just keeping themselves updated of all your activity. So they are like leaving their job and then would actually go and get themselves hired in another job, so they still have access. That is what's happening. Okay, the job hopping. It's easy to do. They're using their jobs behind the scene. So that's what a hit is. If they know your routine, if they know what you do, Monday to Friday, your regular routine, it's easy to set up a hit. But they'd need they'd need to be able to study you first. And they embed themselves, and then they can actually just incite a hit or let their people know they're in trouble, because of what they're trying to do is their idea is to save whoever's behind it from being charged with serious criminal offences. Sometimes it could be somebody hierarchy. So that's what they're doing. So I basically just describe here the things that I'm stating on my statement of claim, that the New Zealand Police has participated in it in one way or another. Okay, but the main focus, the main elements on my case, on my statement of claim against the police, is the protected disclosure application, the car accident, and the incident that happened within the workplace when my driver's license got stolen. They did nothing. No one did anything. No one did nothing, even though I lodged those complaints. So it was a very dangerous set of circumstances for me. But I'm the type of person who don't wear my emotions on my sleeve. What I mean by that, you would never know, you would never know my reaction. I'm not one of these females that is a drama queen. And when I describe something that's happened, it's actually really serious, but it can sound like I'm just talking normal. But in hindsight, in reality, it's like, that is so serious. It's hard to explain what I mean, but these are the working conditions that I've been subject to. So basically, what I'm saying is, you would never know me personally, when I'm not a panicky kind of a person. I'm very controlled. I'm very disciplined. I'm a very controlled person emotionally. Unless I know you really well, I'll let you know my emotions or how I'm feeling or when I'm vulnerable. Otherwise, you'd never know. I can work under pressure, having so many things going on I could be under pressure with so many important things happening at once, but you wouldn't know that I'm actually under pressure, because you wouldn't know unless I showed it. But if I say, I'm sick, I'm one of these people, if I say I'm sick, I'm sick. I have been sick. I just know my limits. I'm very self-controlled person. I manage my emotions. Nobody knows me better than me, and that's just the type of individual I am. I'm very self-controlled, sound mind. So I just walk around minding my business. All these things were happening around me, and I couldn't do anything about it. Basically, they just took my liberty away. I'm just going to do just a quick clip on the penalties of organisations and any government agencies when they, have done very serious misconducts or very serious violent offences. This includes anyone in government organisation according to the laws, the penalties and the actual pecuniary penalties, it's called, and criminal liability. So a case like mine is a very serious case, of course, because there's a lot of very serious indictable criminal offences. So in hindsight, the case itself is worth a lot more money, but according to the laws, and I'm just going through this because I think this is really important to make sure that they don't get away with it. With my situation I've been representing myself legally in court since 2016, but the case has been sabotaged and turned into a monopoly game sort of a thing. So this is where I got the amount. This is not, it clearly says here, for an individual who commits an offence is liable to $500,000 fine or both, which means they can get a conviction too. But it is a case-by-case basis. So individuals can actually get sued $500,000 and a conviction or both. And over here it clearly says it's $10 million. Also for organisations, because organisations and corporate bodies are all treated as an individual. So this is where I got the $10 million for each organisation. So I thought I'd just put that up to make sure that they don't get away with it. But this is what is actually happening secretly behind the scene. I'm doing everything myself, so it's been frustrating. So when I go out, different people come out and they're playing games with my life when I'm by myself. It's dangerous, really. It's not acceptable for anyone to go through what I've gone through. But I don't know who's doing it. But the everything is staged, and they're staging people in my space when I do go out, just to go to the shops, and doing their indirect, whatever they want to call it,